Hail, hail, and welcome to another episode of A Celtic World-North America. We're a part of a Celtic World YouTube channel, and Chris and I each week try to bring a little bit of a North American perspective to the Celtic support. So again, lots to talk about this week. Was another snoozer of a match, but 3 points in the end with CalMac Screamer saving the day. That followed up like earlier, I think it was on Friday, the debacle of the Celtic AGM. And also looks like we may have the new manager in place, possibly for the game midweek. So, like I said, lots to talk about. So let's get rolling. First things first, let's introduce everyone. Chris, how we doing?
Hey, doing all right. And yourself?
Good to see you. And yeah, we got to talk about Chris visiting the Nashville CSC over the weekend. So
founding member now.
Yeah, we'll get a report on that. And then we got Bobby from Columbus. Bobby, how you doing?
Good, brother. Good.
Good to have you back on. It's been a while since we had you.
Thank you, Sean.
Bobby's definitely we're gonna lean on him for some knowledge on Wilfred Nancy, since he's a Columbus guy. So
yeah.
And then last but not least, of course, Sean Finn from Pittsburgh.
Hello.
Our most frequent guest. I think he's been on like 6 or 7 times now. So welcome
Great
back.
to be back. Always good crap.
Right? It's good to have you on. So I figure we could start off by, I think, talking about the AGM. I think was, pissed off a lot of people, I know, and just over within a few minutes. I almost felt like it was kind of a setup that they just tried to end it that way to get under the skin of the people in the crowd and elicit that reaction so that they wouldn't have to, answer any hard questions. But whether maybe that's a conspiracy theory, but I don't know. Chris, did you get a chance to see any
I mean, yeah.
It was short enough that you could watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I watched multiple different views from it. In watching multiple views of what went down and how it corresponded, I think it paints a kind of a stark picture between both factions, right? So you get what they wanted you to see, and you get what the people in the audience that were there that were actually reacting to things. You saw their view on it and reaction to it. And I mean, it's just if we were trying to be transparent about what's going on, this was not the way to do it. I don't know how you feel confident right now in the leadership of the PLC, just because it's I mean, for Ross to come out instead of his dad, first of all, what's Ross doing there, right? Like, I mean, it's just all the way around. It was very insulting. And I think it's nasty, and how it shakes out, I couldn't begin to tell you. Mean, that's just, and to be honest with you, that's just where I've had to leave it, because it's like, man, there's so much stuff that's going on that we don't know about, and that's the whole thing is the transparency of things. People wanted answers to questions, and those answers did not, get asked.
Yeah, agreed. Bobby, how did you see it?
I tell you, it was bad optics, that's for sure. There seems to be a disconnect growing from the support and the club itself. That's grown. There's a discontent. It didn't help over the summer with a just absolute horrible. If we had come and did a far better job at recruiting, particularly bringing someone in to replace guys we had sent on, if we had brought in a player to at least bring in some more goals and a little bit replace Kyogo, then we might even be in this situation. But we are now, and it shows that. I told you before, I've been following Celtics since I was a kid, and a lot of the temperament is reminiscent of the old White and Kellys, where they ran it like almost like a regime, and it didn't matter what people thought because you were paying your money. And they're probably right in that instance for now, but I think they're teetering on a point where if it doesn't switch soon and they don't become a little bit more receptive to the supporters, and I'm not simply talking on there's the political aspect of it, but really about the symbiotic relationship between the supporters and the club itself. That seems to be changing, reverting back to an older time, and that's nothing but a bad thing. But one thing that'll cure that is winning, no matter what. But I agree with Chris is that it could not have gone worse, and it could not have been as tone deaf. That's the thing I think that stands out to me is how tone deaf they are to the supporters. But yeah, nothing good came from it. And again, bad optics, terrible optics, and yeah, not good at all.
No, agreed. Sean, I'm sure you have an opinion.
Yeah, I mean, totally agree with, both of what those guys just said. Really it kind of painted like it was almost like a microcosm of everything that is wrong with how they operate. Not only was it, a extreme lack of leadership in the form of Peter Lowell, who was supposed to be chairing this, but it also shows a complete lack of either any accountability, self-awareness, and ability to do their jobs as an executive committee, to not go in there and basically try to pick a fight with the people that are paying for this club to exist. I mean, there's so many crazy, thoughts going through my mind on like what Bobby says, like, what were they, going in there with a pre-plan to say, look, we don't want to have to hold ourselves accountable to anybody here. We're just going to plan this out where we're going to antagonize the crowd enough where we have, the option to just kind of to bag it. Anybody who's either in at all competent in their job and not petulant children would have, who knows if even that statement was run by anybody before he started ranting. But if I was Michael Nicholson, if I was Peter Lowell and Ross Desmond came up and hey, I'm gonna read this, they'd be like, no, you're not. No way.
Right.
You know how like that's gonna pour a ton of gasoline onto this already raging bonfire.
Right. Unless it was planned that way.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You wonder.
Yeah,
You wonder.
Right.
So, you have basically a toothless CEO who seemingly has zero power whatsoever. And then you have a not even majority shareholder who is literally acting like the owner, and people are letting him. So like how does this end? What can we do about it? I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like it's very powerless in the whole situation to create change. I mean, I think there has been action taken by, you know, the Celtic fan collective, tons of different groups have, you know, made their points and protests, but I think the only person that probably matters at this point is Dermot Desmond, and he's like stubborn to a point and confrontational and combative, and it's almost like there's almost a disdain for good portions of the support who are questioning like what he wants to do. So for that statement, yeah, go ahead, Sean.
So when you have, you know, I would say it's an impossible task to overcome, unless maybe in 25 years they dig up enough lost shares to get some sort of bigger percentage, you know, but that's going to take forever if it ever even happens. But I was listening to Axom earlier, and you know, John Hughes made a really good point. He's like, what are we going to do? Just continue this like, you know, endless Vietnam War against the board, or do we actually figure out a way to make it work in some semblance the way it is now, knowing that you know, what really needs to happen is Dermot Desmond needs to be gone.
Yeah,
I don't know. I thought that was a really good point.
It is, but like, yeah, but how does that happen? And
well,
it's
I
think concessions on both sides.
I think the thing that you can positively say about what's going on though is that the support is at least unified in all of this, right? So like it's not like it's just you know the Green Brigade and the boys and all of these like supporters groups that are there week in week out. It's like CSCs from across the globe, right? Like everybody is unified and like, hey, something's got to be done because there is this disconnect that's not making the thing work. You know, and that's all that we want is we want this thing that we all participate in to work. We want it to have the same level of passion and drive and all of this stuff. And to your point, Sean Fan, it's like if there's something to be done, it will grow from the support. It won't come from the top down.
Right.
It'll come from the support up. So
yeah,
at least that's the good news is that we can all be unified in that.
I tell you, there's the last time I went over, I ran into a guy. He's an author. His name is Matt McGlone. Matt was a super fan, and Matt started the first Celtic fanzine, and he also wrote a book called Emotionally Celtic, and it basically documented the early 90s issues that happened around when McCann came in and took control of Celtic from the Whites and the Kellys. And there's rumblings of this now. And much like Chris said, it's tough to watch, but you have to strike a balance. It is a business. It is a company. It's also a football team, and they're symbiotic. They have to go and, I believe Sean said they have to work in the same thing, and I don't think that's happening right now. And it's obvious that it's been going on for a while, and it's basically blown up now.
Yeah.
No, agreed. Well, let me throw some comments up on the screen because we were slow to get them in the beginning. Hail, strange love. Anti-establishmentarianist. Yes, definitely.
Nice.
Hail, Sligo boy. And then Gary. And we got a bunch of people now. And Brian. But I'm going to throw up Dr. J, our buddy. and this is his comment, and I think he's right, but it's part of what the issue is. Like he like he is the dominant voice, and probably
Yeah.
always has been, and like probably just won't allow that
Yeah.
other voice to come in there to give a different perspective. Like so, yeah.
And like I said, it harks back. Honestly, if you want a good read and you want to learn about the history of Celtic, give it a read. It's called Emotionally Celtic by Matt McGlone. And all this you hear is reminiscent of the Kellys and the Whites. And it's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
But I think supporters who have followed Celtic for a long time kind of have heard these things before, and it's not good.
Yeah.
agreed. And then Dr. J again, remove him. How? And it's true. Like, and that's
4
why.
guys in a truck.
But it goes back to the
I don't know, that's how you do it.
it's that feeling of powerlessness that like we how do we go about fixing things? We're kind of just sitting and trying to cause a little bit of trouble, and I don't know if that's working in any way. So it's very frustrating to watch. So yeah, I mean, it's slow steps. I tend to think like, I don't know. I was having a few beers with Robert from the Fenian Boys last night, and like his opinion is, and not that he doesn't even agree with it, but that there's going to be kind of a sacrificial lamb, and it's probably going to be Michael Nicholson and maybe a couple other guys, and and it goes back to the transparency of what's happening in the board and what at the top levels. Like, we don't know what Michael Nicholson does really, because so like,
it won't matter who's in it.
Is he the problem? That's so.
I mean,
we don't.
Not the root of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the root of it is a movable object.
Yeah, that's
you could
definitely.
You could put us four on the board, and it wouldn't matter.
Here's a good suggestion. Oh no, I got this one. Put up the wrong comment. Sorry. GoFundMe to buy Dermot Desmond shares. That might work. But yeah, so I mean, the statement from Ross Desmond was just infuriating, and just I don't, and purposeful. You have to believe like it was done to elicit a reaction, and probably did come from his father, I'm sure, and like he just didn't want to have to deal with it. Didn't want to hear the bitching from the support, the 900 or so people who were in that crowd. So
the plebes.
Yeah, exactly. So from there, I guess we can move on. I mean, we could say it was positive result on Saturday, but just another god awful watch. Like I know me, I got together with a couple guys at a bar nearby to watch, and just, I mean, there wasn't much to go off of. I guess I'll throw up the lineup, and I mean, the lineup, I felt like, if I can get it up, kind of what you would expect, probably. Did Sean, did you see any surprises there? I mean,
no.
Yeah. Anybody see any surprises in there?
No, not at all. No.
Yeah. So strong line as probably as strong a lineup as we can put out right now. Maybe not call it a strong lineup, but good enough to get a result away at St. Mirren. I feel like we're strong enough to beat those sides. And for a good portion of the match, at least definitely the first half, I would say St. Mirren outplayed us and had the better chances. A couple, like that one cross right across the box. I think it was McMenamin maybe who put it in. Or no,
Yes.
McMenamin was on the end of it. And like you almost were like, oh, there's a goal, and you just didn't know, like, how did that not go in?
Yeah.
And then
Because he's
put
playing
another
for St.
one.
Mirren.
Yeah. And then put another one right across off the outside of the post. So
Mhm.
the first half just created absolutely nothing. I'll say, what was Sean for you? What was the reaction in the CSC that for the first half? A lot of moaning and groaning, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, we were kind of in a unique situation because the Riverhounds, our USL team, was playing Tulsa for the championship
Yeah.
at noon. So we had a bunch of people that came to watch that. So they ended up winning in PKs, and so that was our first championship for football here, soccer, in Pittsburgh. So that was really cool. So everybody was kind of lubed up and ready, for Celtic at 3. And then, I mean, it was one of those games where there was a lot of conversations going on. So you could tell people weren't necessarily too invested in the game, as they would be if Celtic were playing well. But I mean, obviously the end of the game was fantastic. To see, Callum score that screamer was fantastic. And I mean, we had a really good crowd and people stayed, and it really doesn't matter. I mean, it a lot of times, like, it's not like people just like with their eyes glued to the TV, um, for the entire 90. It's just a lot of camaraderie and, talking and obviously paying attention to the game, but not, where you're not going to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So it was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really good night. It was a really good day.
Well, that 3 p.m. kickoff for us East Coasters was
yeah.
I mean, weird, but it was nice. And I mean, I did so much stuff, and then I got home from, getting all my errands done, and then I'm like, one of my buddies texted me to go watch the game. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Like,
yeah, maybe that'll happen again in like 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't remember a 3 p.m.
I know, yeah.
No. You'll get some of those kickoffs, those odd kickoffs for like later rounds in the League Cup. But but yeah, it's a strange one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys have a good crowd, Bobby, in Columbus, or were you?
I was at home, buddy. I was at home watching it and dying slowly. It was a tough watch. You knew going in that I tell you, one of the teams that I respect most is St. Mirren. I think what Robinson does with what little he has to offer, I think he does well with that. They don't have a lot of great players because they can't afford to get a lot of great players. He's done top 6 the last 2 or 3 years, I believe, and that that's more than I think Hibs and Hearts within the structure of Scotland. They've overachieved in my opinion. They actually played in Europe last year, so I think what he does a lot with what little he has, and I'm actually shocked that we won. Well, more shocked that we kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
As you said, the McManaman, that should have been he could have rolled it in, but it was such a. I tell you what, though, I damn near hit my ceiling when that McGregor goal went in because his shirt's on it. I almost turned the damn TV off because it was a tough. It's terrible to watch. It was a slug. It was just horrible. The way that, if you've ever been to Scotland that time of the year, it's just that you could just see it just raining this way. And I've never been anywhere in the world where it rains sideways. And it's only either in the west, it's either in Scotland or the west of Ireland. It just rains like that, and that you could just see it the whole match. And they made it miserable, and they should have, because all they wanted, they would have been thrilled with a point, and it showed because they didn't offer much. But that's how have to, you know, 3/4, maybe more of the league is low block. So, you know,
Yep.
but we slugged it out, and man, it was something else. Probably,
Yeah.
I tell you, we stole it. That's for
We did.
damn sure.
It
those are
reminded, yeah.
Absolute
that's
thievery.
three huge points for the end
Yeah.
of the season, and those are those
Absolute
games
thievery. And I tell you, on top of that, the even bigger let off is Hearts. You know, I watched a good part of that game, and they had 4 or 5 solid chances, and didn't play well at all, and deserved a lot. They deserved to. They lost, but that was even the bigger let off. You know, so and I believe. Do we have a game in hand? I think I'm not sure.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and it's just, I think, you know, they put it on a platter. And really and honestly, man, if there's a change that happens, I don't know if there will be. If there's a change that happens, you really need to go back and appreciate the job that O'Neill's done in this space, because he could really and truly have gotten it wrong. Because a guy that's been out of the game for 20 plus years comes in, and you can actually see improvement within a short space of time for players we needed to improve. And again, not a great watch, but we got 3 points. You know,
I know for like I said, I was in you would call it one of the local soccer bars kind of, but they had college football on. We did watch the end of the penalty kicks in the Pittsburgh Tulsa game. But it was just me and 2 other guys who were really, you know, glued to the Celtic game. And then like when that and I literally said to one of the guys I was with, probably in about the 91st minute, that we deserve a goal for sitting through that shit. And then 2 minutes later, like McGregor gets it, and I literally fell off my stool. Running, you know, 4 or 5 steps away from my stool, clapping it. And the guy at the table next to me comes up, and he's like, "I want to shake your hand. I don't know what just happened, but congratulations." And then he went and did it to the other 2 guys who were with me. But so it was awesome. But I mean,
it kind of reminded me of that Ross County match a couple years ago, where Ralston scored the last minute. Yeah.
I did not think it was coming this time, because I mean we have had those moments where I mean, we didn't create anything. I think we had one, maybe you would call it maybe half a shot on goal. It was just a looping header that had no chance. It went straight to the keeper. Yeah. Beyond that, it was just a brutal game.
Yeah, I mean, I sat through that when I was over in September. Sat through that 0-0 Hibs match. That was another just.
Especially when you're there.
Yeah.
We got to give a thumbs up to Sligo boy for his clean sheet on Saturday. But yeah, so I mean, in the end, 3 much needed points. So, and like those are the ones you tuck away for the end of the season, and they end up winning you a title. So like
you count on those. Those are games that count, man. Those you watched through the years. There's been those games where, you know, when you don't deserve it, you get the points. Those are how you win championships, man. Absolutely. Right.
And taking into consideration like our injury, debacle, and just guys not being on form, and just no squad depth. I mean, I'll take those wins all day long.
Amen.
Yeah. I will say my one takeaway, and we played much better in the second half. And I don't know if it was the reason, but I felt like Maeda looked much more dangerous up the middle than Johnny Kenny. But I mean, it could just be a one-off thing, you know. I mean, Kenny's been banging in a few goals lately, and I've been giving him praise after kind of slaughtering him for the last year. So deservedly though. I mean,
And then there's a couple more as well, you know. I wonder what player he is. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
who he is yet.
I think he's still an unknown. I'm not writing him off by any stretch. I mean, there was a half of football where he was bad, and we've had plenty of players
more than that
doing that this year. So
and he's also not there to be the number one striker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just like
more to the point. More to the point. Yeah, this is a guy that's supposed to be what Adamita was. You know,
if
and then Adamita and Adamita wasn't that guy. Eventually, once Kyogo left. No, that's a very good point. That's a very good point.
He's played a lot of football too recently. I mean, he's probably not used to that.
Yeah. So let me play our subscribe clip real quick, and then I want to move on to since while we're still talking about the match, we can move on to Chris's experience over the weekend. So just bear with me 1 second.
Hey Bempot, show these guys some love would ya? AW finger tap or mouse click like this. Cheers pal.
That was Dutch apparently, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
didn't know that.
give us a subscribe on the channel and like. It helps everybody find us on here, so that's always good for us. But so Chris got to be a founding member this weekend or last weekend at the Nashville CSC. So we're always trying to give some shout outs to any clubs anywhere, but definitely those new clubs that are trying to get started.
Absolutely.
Like Long Island started this year hardcore, and they seem like they're doing really well. So any new CSC is we're always want to give them a little bit of publicity. So what was your experience on Saturday with them?
So in all of my years of supporting Celtic, to be close enough, because when we were in Georgia going to Atlanta, I mean, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours in traffic, and there was no way that I could continually try to make something right. So having a CSC that's going to be close enough that I can go to watch a match. I mean, it's everything for me, right? So I'm just super excited about it. Anyway,
how far is it for you?
It's about an hour drive.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I mean, and it's still traffic, but I mean, it's better. It's better than the hour and a half, 2 hours that it was going to take from Athens to Atlanta. So anyway, I have never met any of these people. Didn't know them. Didn't know what they look like. Didn't know what level of Celtic they were. Show up. Met Peter and his wife and Connor and there's Sean, of course. So I mean, we got along well. It was just 5 of us there. The Notre Dame Alumni Association in Nashville, they had the Notre Dame game going on, so there was a big crowd for that. So some of those people kind of spilled into our little corner. The pub itself, pretty cool pub. The guy that ran, his first name's Mihal. He ran Joxers in LA for a number of years.
Okay.
He's the one that this is his pub. So he was there. I got to meet him. But we were just kind of getting to know one another, and we've got the list of people, and there was I think 15 of us that are on this list now. So I'm just excited to be on the ground floor of it, and just kind of being a part and whatever I can do. But yeah, we got in there and got into our own little spot that was kind of tucked away, because it's like a number of other pubs that they're not going to open unless you have at least 10 people.
So Chris, how many people went while the game was going on? It was fairly large. There were a lot of people there. How many people would you say there?
I mean,
including with the football, the Notre Dame fans.
Yeah, well, so it's also a rugby place too. So they had the South Africa and Ireland earlier in the day.
Oh wow!
Or whatever, right? So, and for whatever reason, this pub is also the South African Rugby Club
Okay.
supporters club. Like, I
At an
don't
Irish
know how
pub.
that works.
So there's 75, 100 people, maybe
No, there was probably 200.
200. And
Yeah.
of those 200, was there anyone who had a better beard than you?
Probably not. Probably not. I didn't see that many bearded, because people
Yeah.
don't approach me in public.
Yeah, it's very impressive, and I have to comment.
Right, but like, I mean, but people just don't stop me in like the grocery store or whatever. Like,
See, I would
you
touch
wanna
it,
talk to me.
but we're friends.
Yeah, right, but that's you and not random strangers. But no, it like, yeah, there was probably 200 people in this place. There's a hotel attached to it.
Oh wow,
good stuff.
It's you know, from growing up in Middle Tennessee, it's not in an area of Nashville that I have ever really considered like going to hang out. Not the best part of town. Always had like a huge problems with crime and, you know, broken bottles, and like it's just kind of rough, right? And but it seems clean now, and you know, everybody seems, you know, real friendly, and the pub was nice. You know, people were great. One of the guys runs the Irish Network Nashville. It's part of the St. Patrick's Day Parade and all of the things that go on in the Irish community in Nashville. So, yeah, I see a good future, but I think it's going to take, you know, a good bit of work and a little bit of you know, planning and making things happen. So no, it was great, and you know, as soon as McGregor's goal hit the back of the net, man, we were all high-fiving and screaming and yelling, and you know, all the Notre Dame people were all looking at us like, what happened in there? You know,
that's awesome.
But it was cool, man. Like I'm super pumped about it, and I'm looking forward to being a part of whatever develops.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
I got a little pic from your group the other day.
Yeah, there you go.
So, was that the first match, like, get together?
Yeah, that was the first quote unquote official one.
I think I think they've like had a few little unofficial gatherings, like, but this was publicized ahead of time as like
this was the publicized, like, hey,
perfect time, good late kickoff.
And I mean, like y'all were saying about the odd kickoff time, like a 2:00 kickoff on Saturday, that's unheard of. That's unheard of. So it's super happy about that.
Yeah, and they've definitely I've just noticeable up their social media game over the last few weeks. I feel like since one, and I think the build up to publicizing their little get together, and then just definitely post some pics, and I think they went out to a couple of their guys were out in Chicago, so there was you know, hanging out with our guy Paul from Chicago at their CSC. So they're I think trying to put the word out, and that's, you know,
we were also mentioning the Philly Fela, and they're already on board. One of the guys already booked a room. So
awesome.
We're
that'd be great.
Nashville's gonna be represented in Philly, so you should be too.
Cool.
Yeah. So here's Chris, Dr. J. That's very true.
Yeah.
That's not my dog would disagree there, Jay. That's Dr. J. I'm sorry.
And then what I want to throw up there, another one of our contributors here, Jimmy V. Happy Thanksgiving,
Jimmy. One of the best guys you'll ever meet. One of the best guys.
100%.
Love Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were. Me and Robert were talking about him last night and said the same thing. But both me and Robert. So, just trying to go through the rest of our comments. Brian, no CSCs in Nova Scotia, so moving to Toronto.
Nice. Well, you have good ones in Toronto.
Yeah. You can throw a rock and you'd hit 5 Celtic supporters in that damn city.
Yeah.
So yeah, glad it went well. I kind of knew, and like I said, I told you beforehand, like just happy for you that like you finally have that at least an option, to a good option. I mean, you're an hour away. I'm an hour out to go to the Philly CSC, so it's not. We're kind of in the same boat, and
it's just being an hour behind a 7 a.m. kickoff for you, 6 a.m. for me, and an hour drive at 5 a.m. doesn't necessarily sound as much fun as it sounds. But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I'll be doing that to the 7. I'll be going to Philly on a Sunday for the 7 a.m. kickoff. But that we'll get to that later. That's further in on the agenda. But so let's move on to. I mean, it's been going on for weeks, and like I feel like maybe next week we might need to have another Columbus correspondent, Jason, on, because this thing just keeps dragging on, and that's just the way that the Celtic board works, I think, and it's hard to get deals done. But everything, you're starting to see some of the big, in the know football reporter guys saying like it's nearly a done deal. Compensation's been agreed upon. Some of the backroom staff been agreed upon.
Well, Martin O'Neill said tomorrow's his last game.
Yeah, did he say that? So yeah, just the club hasn't officially, done their little welcome yet. So kind of waiting for that. But so Bobby, being a Columbus guy, and I don't know how big you are into MLS, but I will say that I did see on one of the, I think Blue Sky, John Kerr said that you were like one of the first people to kind of mention Wilfred Nancy as a candidate when Brendan, Brendan left. So I don't know what your perspective is on the guy. Like,
I got a friend who has season tickets. I've been maybe 7 or 8 times to watch him. The friend I go with is a college soccer player, or a college coach, or was a college coach. He coaches youth soccer now in the area, and this area is huge for youth soccer. But from day one, Columbus was bought into him. Tactically, he's interesting, and it's sort of a 3-4-2-1, and that can switch, that can overload when you go into offense. He likes the triangles like everybody does now on the wings. He tries to do he reminds me a lot, Sean. I really enjoy watching Marseille. He reminds me of De Zerbi. He used to coach at Brighton, and then he went to France. And when he was in Brighton, he did well. He got him into Europe, and I believe he beat Liverpool even. So a lot of tactically, I think a lot of it reminds me of De Zerbi from Marseille. When I heard that this might be a thing, the first thing I thought of was that I think he might be able to get a tune out of Tierney. I think particularly, and the wings as well. I mean, and we got enough of those guys around. I think he's a possession guy, and that's kind of scares Celtic supporters, because so was Rodgers, I guess. But that kind of there is no tactic. I don't think there were any tactics with Rodgers over the last year. And one of the things that really that Scottish Celtic supporters, they make a great point, is he's a possession guy, and that's great, but what do you do with that? And that played out with Russell Martin, because that mantra was with Martin as well, was like, this guy does really well with the ball, but when you get up to Scotland and it's that low block and it's raining like this on a Wednesday and you're playing Motherwell, who just wants to draw, how are you going to get that goal? And ultimately, we asked the same questions when Ange came in. And ultimately, there was that same sort of snobbery, I think, that goes back to another era. I think everybody's seen the worst for me was that it was a call-in show, your British call-in show, a guy named Alan Brazil and McCoist, and they couldn't even pronounce Ange Postecoglou's name. They were goofing on this, and there's this, he's in the A League, he's in Australia, and who's this guy? And he doesn't even this, that, and then once he gets in, you get the grief from Boyd, which is you're always going to get the grief from that pig. But it's an Ange hire. I think we're in safe hands. I think people will be impressed, in my opinion, from what little I've seen of the guy. I'll tell you, two overriding issues is, number one, he was at Montreal. They didn't want him to go. He left. And I think, generally speaking, I think people in Columbus would not like to see him leave, but he's going to go. So that tells you a lot, And
Yeah.
and I remember who was that clown that came in with Gerard, who ended up getting the job? He was an assistant. Michael Beal.
Oh, yeah.
When Rangers went back for Michael Beal at QPR, they almost ripped his Rangers' hands off getting him off their books. They didn't want him, so he went, and and there was an epic failure. And I think the difference between Celtic and Rangers, one of the vast differences over the last decade is Rangers seems to have an ideology of having to go back to British. They dig into the championship, and it's been a complete and utter failure. Now they look like they wanted to go with Muscat, and I don't know much about him as a manager, but this reminds me of an Ange hire, Sean. And I think we'll be all right, in my opinion. I just want good. I don't really care for the crew. I just want what's good for Celtic.
Right.
He's innovative. He's a possession guy. I think he can get it as quick as I heard that was happening. I think he can get a tune out of Tierney. That's a guy that I really be interested in seeing. I think Jota, he likes his wing play, and we'll see. But I think overall, it'll be a good hire, Sean. I really do.
Yeah. Well, the impression I got is he is, like you said, big on the wing backs and
inverted. He likes to invert his wing. A lot of the things that Ange did. Yeah.
Yeah. And the possession game as well, which, like you said, that almost became a negative in our minds.
Yeah.
After a while with Brendan, but possession with the encouraging to take chances, especially against that against the low block, and then you need to. I mean, I think
what makes it sort of, again, what I think the particularly Scottish Celtic supporters, they're really spot on is even sometimes with maybe not Rangers, but most games, man, we're going to have 70% of the ball. It's about what you do with that. Yeah. If you watch, the best example is you go through that. You look at that stage, if you want to take a look at it, really do a deep dive, is look at Russell Martin at Rangers. Every match, virtually 60, 70%, he dominated possession all the time. But if you're clueless, what's it matter? But yeah.
We were saying, even at the bar on Saturday, that you felt like in the first half, St. Mirren was in pretty, not in control, but well into the match. And they're and then the possession comes up and it was 72-28 Celtic still, where we're not doing anything. We have 72% of the ball, but not doing, fuck all with it. So it's right. And nobody wants to see that anymore. I don't think so. Hopefully, everything I've seen about the guy, everything I've read at least, and like you said, almost all the Columbus people who I've just reading their stuff, they're not happy to see him leave. So I mean, I'll take that as a good sign. And
He was, I think, in the early stages, he was one of the last names to come up for the U.S. national team. And his name was in that conversation for a while.
Yeah.
His name has always been, since he's been in Columbus, particularly after he won the MLS Cup, there's been off and on that many people thought he would be a one of these guys that would go to a mid-level English league team, or back to France, to one of the big clubs in France. Right. So I'm telling you, for me, I think it's a good move. Is it an anti-hire? I don't know, but I think we're in safe hands. I really do.
And see, that's all I needed to hear was Bobby say it's going to be okay. And I'm just like, all right, I'm in. Do it.
So Sean, I don't know how much you pay attention. Do you pay attention much to MLS to get in I'm not. That's like I said. I've said that a bunch of times. Like
I actually have
I know less than most people.
Yeah, I do have a couple of friends that are like big Columbus Crew fans, but I actually haven't seen them to be able to talk to them about it. But yeah, I mean, everything that Bobby said, like, that's what I'm hearing, and sounds like he's actually a good guy, like that. Players want to play for him.
You can go on the internet, and he has. That's a very good point. And Sean, I apologize. That's a point I wanted to make, was that you can do all the tactical stuff. You can say all those things, but can you motivate players?
Yeah.
And he had a guy, I believe Aiden Morris, who's at Middlesbrough now. To Sean's point, and if you go online and you look at what Morris said about Nancy, they love him. Johnson played with him or was underneath him in Montreal, and he spoke of him glowingly. There's 2 or 3 guys that love him. You know, he's great. So that's a very good point. Is you can talk tactics all you want, but can you motivate players? Can you get them to do things that you want to do and translate that onto the pitch? And that's another thing I think will be in safe hands. That's a very good point.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing, and that he gets the most out of his players. So hopefully that's the case and can improve guys. Like, I think people kind of gave Brendan credit for that a little bit the last season, but man, I don't know. Was it the case?
You wonder.
There's always deterioration with this. Once to the second, third year, everybody just falls off, it seems. So
yeah, that's crazy. It is really crazy. I mean, we've had some bad luck and stuff with injuries, and then the board not doing what they're supposed to do and get players to replace all the goals that left. But I mean, it really, I hate to say it, but like, it almost kind of seemed like the players just didn't want to play for him anymore either.
Yeah.
And that's how it was the first time around. You remember how lackadaisical it got, and very boring and very tedious.
And you wonder what the genesis of that is, right? Because it's a guy who, I mean, not too long ago, we won every match in the league. I mean, this is the guy. You know what I mean? We sat and watched.
But that was the season. Yeah, I mean, that happened that season too. In the third,
and it's the same guy
before he left. Yeah. I don't know. I guess, maybe he just has a certain. I mean, I've met him. He was nice to me. And my wife. We met him at the foundation dinner there, but I mean, he has a huge ego, and when things aren't going his way, it seems like he kind of almost doesn't want to take responsibility some of the time, for making, he's so militant in his tactics and stuff like that, that he's like, well, I don't, my way is the best, and I mean, it's just like the same thing that is happening with the board, and it's just this lack of any kind of self-reflection and being like, well, not everybody that's protesting and complaining and stuff like has to be, can be wrong, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a lot of people.
That's a good point.
Maybe I need to look in the mirror,
Yeah. I do think Brendan was like that.
Yeah.
Like, I still go back to when we had Mick on a couple weeks ago, Chris.
Yeah.
And he said, we were talking about this. He said Brendan's plan B is do plan A better. And it's very true. Like, I don't know.
100%.
But Ange was like that too.
Yeah, I guess we really haven't had. I feel like Martin in his short time has made more adjustments than probably Brendan did in a couple of years. So,
yeah, I mean, within like the context of like such a short period of time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think St. Mirren was starting to show.
Yeah. Hail Scott, first time viewer.
Yeah, nice.
Cheers. Thanks for watching. But I guess good time to move on to I guess tomorrow we got Europa League against Feyenoord. Midday, like new. What is it? 12:45, I think. Kickoff. Yeah, 12:45 kickoff for 11:45 for Chris. Sean, you said that you got the CSE. You're going to be showing it at the Cork Harbor, which is cool. And you're expecting a good crowd too.
Yeah, I think we are. I think there's going to be a good crowd there.
Mm-hmm. Chris, what's your plan for the game?
I'm going to try to watch it. I just sit here at the house. I mean, it's Thanksgiving.
I know it's tough.
It's going to be difficult to try to do anything outside of that for people here. So
yeah, I know me. I'll be fighting off I'm going to my parents' house, and everybody's going to be wanting to watch the Lions and the Packers, and I'm going to be trying to convince everybody to flip on Paramount Plus, but see how that goes.
It's a fight. It's a fight, isn't it?
I know I'll have some. Maybe I might have some support. There's some soccer fans in the house. So, but in terms of the match, I mean, for me, Europe, I'm not kind of giving up on it, but almost. I feel like I'm just more focused on the league, and I just rather not get injuries in Europe, and so I'm willing to rest a few guys. Chris, what's your thought on how do you feel about it?
Same. I mean, so I'm going to get to watch it, hopefully. Like I actually upgraded to Paramount Plus, so
did you?
I get to watch that tomorrow. So
Nice.
That's cool. But as far as what we're going to do, man, I think we go out, we do the best we can, and if we win one for Martin O'Neill, great. And if we don't, I'm not gonna. I'm kind of like you. I've kind of written off Europe. I mean, it is what it is, and I want to focus on the things that, if we win in Europe, great, right, this season. But if we don't, I'm okay with focusing on the league and the League Cup and stuff. So
yeah, agreed. And Bobby, you kind of already said what I said.
Yeah, no, I would blood some guys, see what can we get out of some guys, ask some questions some guys on the bench, and I've tossed in my hat for Europe, and it is what it is. But nothing.
I mean, based on the table, we're still in it, but like what? I don't know. Maybe if we win a couple games, I'll get more into it. And by like tomorrow at 12:30, I'll be like, raring to go, wanting a good result. But like now, I'm just like,
without a doubt, I'll watch the game and but who knows, man?
Yeah,
it's tough.
The Hibs on Sunday is at Easter Road is huge. So like, that's a massive game. So I mean, I don't just save a few guys. I always said, like, Iheanacho was back in training and Sriracha was back in training today. Like, I don't want to see them tomorrow because I remember what happened to Alistair Johnson last time. If you throw a guy out there too early, like for me, I just rather like keep him out of pocket and save him for the weekend. But we'll see what happens. But maybe Martin O'Neill wants to get a win in his last European game, so we'll see. I tend to think he'll probably put out pretty much the strongest lineup, but we'll see what happens.
He seemed kind of sad to I think he really wanted his last game to be at Celtic Park. But
yeah. Well, maybe Celtic will delay it some more, signing Wilfred Nancy, and then he'll get to manage on Wednesday next week against Dundee.
It's more likely than not, right?
Just couldn't get that deal done.
Yeah. Wouldn't pay that extra.
I mean,
$500K.
Didn't when shortly after Brendan Rodgers left, wasn't there the whole thing where it was we can't get a manager in until December? Like there was something like there's a guy blah blah blah, but we won't be able to get anything to work until December. So I was that conspiracy theory, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but
when Rodgers left the first time.
No,
this time.
Oh, this time.
That was more at the end. Towards the end.
I wonder if they were trying to. Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
It was just some interview, I guess.
Yeah. See, this is one of T.T. Simpson. I hope I'm wrong, but Nancy is a big mistake. I think it's.
I don't
it's
think
impossible to know. Yeah.
The problem is that it may not matter who they bring in if the board doesn't back them. So I think that's the thing. I think everything that I've heard and read about him points to if he has the players, he's going to be successful.
Yeah, I think so. I get more excited by the day.
I mean,
the more I read about the guy. So I mean, I don't know.
Bobby, I think you were talking about. I heard that like 3 decent sized French teams. I think like Lens and Rennes and somebody else were in for him, and those aren't small teams. I mean,
no, and he stayed on with Columbus. There's I've heard the same thing. Yeah.
So I'm excited by it, and I think it's seemingly more and more people, and even a lot of those people who in the beginning were like T.T. Simpson. There, like this is a mistake. Like we're getting a manager from MLS, and whereas it's really, it's a higher probably league than the SPFL total, but Celtic and Rangers are kind of on another level.
Messi's not playing for Motherwell, mate. So
yeah, yeah,
not for nothing.
And I like I said, I get more excited as every day goes by because I think more and more people are getting on board with it. So
look, it's you don't want to say. There's that Scottish snobbery, I think, not for everybody, but do you have to have a big name? Do you have to have was it McKenna or the guy from Norway? There's good football. At the end of the day, man, it's 1990s anymore. There's good football outside of Europe. There's actually really good football outside of Europe. There's really good managers outside of Europe. I think we saw that at Celtic. I think a lot of that idea that kind of went away with Ange, and he just got his. And I think, and that mentality, Nancy will have that mentality as well. Just get your head down and get on with it. And I see a lot of him. In Nancy.
Nice.
So in response to that, I would say, I agree. MLS is a crap league. I haven't watched 30 seconds of it, and I would watch the Scottish League a million times over it.
Because of the salary, because of the salary cap, Sean, it's not like for like. You can't take the numbers.
Right.
It doesn't translate to anything in Europe because it's a cap league. And You know, my big hang up, probably my biggest fear is, unlike with Ange, you know, Ange had those 5 or 6 games where it looked iffy, and he was bleeding guys in, and he sort of he got players to buy in, but it took a few matches. There isn't that grace period now.
Right.
You know,
That's
one of my biggest fears. He has to hit the ground running. Period. There's no. That's it.
Yeah, he's put in the spot of coming in the middle of the season, 4 points now behind Hearts. So there's no, it's almost to the point you got to win every match.
Yeah.
To a point. I mean, you're going to drop. Can't lose.
Yeah.
That'll be the biggest adjustment. Like when you look at you can get away with losing games in the MLS, and
absolutely, that's a cultural thing. That's real. That's real. You got to win every match.
Yeah,
it's like being it's like being one of the blue bloods, and Chris can appreciate this. It's like being one of the blue bloods in college football. Mm-hmm. You have to win every game. And that's the way it is at Celtic and Rangers.
Yep.
You have to win every game. You don't have the luxury of being a Brighton or a club in England where, hey, you played good football, you didn't get the result, but it looks good. Results matter.
To quote Kirby Smart, we're gonna hit people here.
I would put up this question from Monty to the panel: what players in the MLS would clearly enhance the Celtic side? I don't watch any MLS, so I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a play. Yeah, I don't know.
I watch Scottish football. That's about it.
Yeah,
I was glued to the TV for Celtic versus St. Mirren, and then like you, Bobby, I watched the entire Aberdeen Hearts match on Sunday, and it was like, give me that all the time.
If I could, Sean, I'll go back. We've adopted this model of come to Celtic, play well, we'll put you in a window, and then we can move you on to bigger clubs. But you have to play well here. MLS is kind of started adopting that model. They have, I believe, in his time at Columbus, he sent a guy. He's I can't think of it. Is a Spanish guy, or South American kid.
Nacho or something. Went to
Betis. Yeah, Real Betis. And then he just sent a guy to. They just sent a guy to Middlesbrough. So he has that in his locker as well. Is come play for me. I'm going to get it if I can get a tune out of you. If you have aspirations to move on to a top 5 league, come here, do your thing. I think he's done that in MLS. So,
yeah. So I guess moving back to in terms of tomorrow, I don't even know. Like
2-0 Celtic.
Hopefully,
that's Chris's prediction every week.
Martin O'Neill, baby. 2-0.
I mean, hopefully they'll at least have some sort of game plan and give them a game. I mean, it's not going to be easy. I just don't want to see what happened. Like get carved.
Yeah,
carved
like
butter
Michelin. That was brutal. Yeah, I don't want to see that. So I mean, give them a game. Yeah. Even like probably a draw away for us, and that
that would be great.
Keeps us in contention to,
likely
move on to the knockout round of.
What are we on? 4 points? 4 points now.
4.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're not not far off from being in the knockout
shakes in Europe.
So in terms of then we got Hibs on Sunday, and I'm going to throw up something real quick which is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys saw this. They're doing a Copa 90 and Adidas and Soccer.com filming a documentary. They're going to be at the Plow on Sunday morning for a 7 a.m. kickoff. So I'm going to try and get down there for that, that's not one I would usually go down for, but
Yeah.
I'll make an effort to get down there. Take the hour drive to see the boys. I know Seamus is trying to get people down there for it to
It's a
boost
great
the
bar.
club a little bit. Yeah,
Mhm.
It's a
so
great bar.
I'm excited for that, and excited for that game. Like I said, I'm all in on the league right now. That's my number one concern. So Hibs at Easter Road will be a massive match for us. So, and then I guess the last thing I know we talked about a little bit before the show, but we got and we're trying to. Me and Chris thought we wanted to like kind of give more publicity to the Phillies that are coming up. The Philly one, and then Detroit's going to do their 5-year anniversary party in April. So I know I'm planning on going to both of those.
Same.
And David last week said, Bobby, that he's already booked, I think, a hotel for you and Jason
I'll be there, brother.
in Philly. So
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that as a RSVP, yes. So
Yeah.
and we haven't hung out in Philly yet, so we definitely have to do that.
It's good times.
Yeah. So that's how I met Chris for the first time, was the one in Philly in 2014, and I met you, Sean, for the first time in a couple of years ago.
It was 22, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
yeah, I think so.
It's always just a great event. I'm gonna throw up the plows one for the Philly. I think they're early February. I had the date.
Yeah, 5th through the 8th.
I have the date somewhere. February 5th through the 8th.
Yeah.
So it's always an amazing weekend. They got I think Friday night we got Ray Coleman and John O'Callahan playing tunes, and both of them are really good. And then my favorite band playing on Saturday night, Bogside Rogues. I'm like a groupie for them. Down the shore at Irish Weekend night. My one friend thinks I'm in love with the lead singer Bobby Hurst. It's half true.
Did I tell you guys that when we went to when we were in Glasgow this past time, that we went to go see Charlie and the boys at Barrowlands after the Hibs match?
That would be cool.
It was mayhem.
Yeah.
I've never seen any. I've never been in any
great
situation like that.
Yeah.
People were just annihilated and having like a great time.
It's a fantastic place. I've been
there.
That's one of my bucket list items. Either them or, and maybe not so much now, the Wolf Tones might be too old, but them or the Wolf Tones at the Barrowlands would be my bucket list to chalk off, and I'll be happy. So whenever I do finally get over there, that's going to be hopefully to plan it around one of those weekends where they those guys are playing.
Nice.
Which would be awesome. And then
there's a couple fantastic little bars around there too.
Yep.
Fantastic little bars.
And here's Monty's comment in terms of our MLS knowledge. I don't apologize because I don't care about MLS, and I like actively don't look at it. So even my local team, the Union, is I think in the semifinals now, or I don't even know. I know I see billboards for them around, but that's how bad I don't pay attention. I just don't pay attention to it at all.
I used to have I probably had a season ticket maybe 10 years ago, but Celtic for me, it's all that matters.
Yeah, that's what I say. The first time I went to see the Union was against Celtic, and I took loads of abuse walking around wearing the hoops. Went down. It was their first season. Within like their first couple games, I think the Union had played, and like these people were like pretending like they're the most diehard fans who have been fans forever. I'm like, the club's been around for like a week. Like, stop.
What were they saying?
I don't even remember. Me and my buddy, we went down, we walked through like that Sons of N section underneath it because that's where the teams come out. So we were trying to see, we ended up seeing like Samaras was playing that day. So saw him up close, but then we were just getting loads of abuse from people. I don't think they even knew, what they were talking about, but whatever.
Some Americans.
Yeah. Fuck 'em. So
those Canadians can be a bit snobbery as well. So.
No.
So I think we covered everything that we wanted to cover. Do you guys wanted to talk about anything else anything to publicize?
Get ready to eat some turkey.
I know it's my favorite. This is my favorite weekend of the year. I don't know about you.
Same.
My favorite holiday, my favorite weekend, one because I get a 4-day weekend every year for it, and we do Black Friday, bar crawl on Friday. Then I'm taking my kid up to New York because I get taken back to college. Then me and my wife get to spend a day in New York, and then Sunday I get to go watch.
Where's your kid go to?
He
go to school in New York?
He doesn't go in New York. We take him up to the Port Authority. He takes a bus up to Massachusetts. He goes to Worcester Polytech in Worcester. But we're cheap bastards because it's like $150 more to take a bus all the way down to Trenton. So
yeah.
We end up then go to New York and spend $200 on getting to New York and going out to eat and drinks. So, but it's always a good time. So I always enjoy that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up then. Bobby, it was good having you back on. We'll definitely get you on again,
brother.
Yeah.
Anytime. I love.
Yeah, man.
I love talking to you guys. I love seeing Chris's beard.
And then Sean, like I said, you're Mr. Reliable.
Oh, no, anytime.
I texted you last night about coming on because it's Wednesday night, the busiest bar night in the year in the U.S., and it can be a little hard to find guests. So you're Mr. Reliable, and we'll always pull you in. And you have one of the best CSEs up and coming, definitely at the very least in the United States. So always a great crowd, and so always want to publicize you guys too. So
yeah, thank you.
Everybody who was in the comments, thanks for TT Simpson busting our balls a little bit too. So appreciate it. And then we'll see you next week. It'll be good because we got Dundee on Wednesday, so we'll be able to talk about the Dundee match along with the Hibs. So we always have a lot to talk about. So love it. Yeah. So hail boys, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.
Chuck your law.